thank you all for attending this meeting. So it will be mainly what's new in IT infrastructure and app modernization. The idea is today sharing with you the updates on the Google Cloud services. And for this, as a cloud architect in Devoteam Cloud, I have with me two brilliant cloud engineers. I give them the floor to introduce themselves.
Thank you, Ziad. So good morning, everyone. My name is Germin Nael, cloud engineer at Devoteam Cloud, and very pleased to be here to talk about some interesting subjects.
And my name is Rafael Menez. I'm also a cloud engineer at Devoteam Cloud, and I'm very pleased to be here with you to present you these subjects.
Great, thank you, Nael. Thank you, Rafael. So let's go directly to our agenda. We will actually talk about what's new related to the modern infra cloud, GCVE, which is a VMware engine, and database. And finally, we will terminate with what is directly new in security cloud. So let's begin by the modern infra cloud. What's new in modern infra cloud? We are beginning actually with the location. Google Cloud has expanded its infrastructure with the launch of a new region in Mexico, which is the Querétaro region. It marks the third region in Latin America, the 41st region actually in the world. And this region has been designed actually to provide fast and reliable cloud services to business and public sector organizations throughout Mexico, but also beyond. So this was about the new location. Let's move on in another actually side of the map, mainly talking about Saudi Arabia. We know that Google Cloud has significantly expanded its presence in Saudi Arabia to address local service data sovereignty and enhance AI capabilities. And one main feature is today, in partnership with the CNTXT, based on assured workload, Google actually has a new cyber security offering designed to help Saudi organizations to meet actually the data sovereignty regulatory and also the security requirements, as we have today actually in Europe, in France precisely, Sense offer with Thales. Once we talked about resource and new actually offer related to geography, let's talk about network. So what is new in network features? We will begin first with application load balancer. As we know, application load balancer are essential to for reliable web application delivery on Google Cloud. While Google Cloud Load Balancer offer actually extensive custom solution, extensive customization, we know that in real life we might have specific needs. And for those specific needs, it may need to run code at the load balancer level. This is why today Google announced the new features related to the plugin, service extension plugin. What does it mean in reality? Actually, to have the capacity of run specific programmatic call code actually at the load balancer level. This will give the capacity to custom our code in the request, in the manner we treat the request and the response path in the managed Google environments. So this was the main feature about the application load balancer. So let's move on the next one, which will concern cloud DNS. As we know, there is actually today organization which will use multiple cloud environments to gain agility, use the resources more efficiently. It could be mainly on GCP, on-premises, but other cloud providers. And to support the predictable services, organizations need a system that intelligently selects the optimal backend for each request. To address this process, today we use cloud DNS routing policies. But with these new features, specifically, which is the public IP health checks, which will provide the automated health-aware traffic management that you need to build a resilient application, knowing that it's in an hybrid actually environment. Some parts is on GCP, another one on premises, and another one might be on other provider, Google cloud provider. Once we finish with the network new features, so let's move on to the GKE updates. Some key features are very welcomed actually on the GKE updates. They are mainly related to the access to the GKE cluster, the control plan mainly, and others are introduced to give us the more flexibility in the lifecycle management of the data plan. Previously, GKE provided two primary methods to secure the access to the control plan. First one, as you know, authorized networks. Second one, disabling the public endpoints. But it, on our side, actually needed to think about the architecture to access the control plan, mainly the API server, and need to implement what we call the bastion host from which we can access to the control plan. Today, it's actually with the new features, actually we have the capacity to access to the control plan through the DNS-based access. DNS access give us the capacity to actually to bypass some limitation as we introduce a cloud interconnection between the GCP environment and also the on-premises. The main issue is related to the transitivity. So this is actually not actually a limitation when using DNS-based endpoints. Adding to this, in terms of security, is directly linked to the IAM. So we have a permission which gives us the capacity for the identity, so the principal user or service account, to access the GKE control plan once there is a policy binding, IAM policy binding. Second part of the key features is directly related to the node pool, so the data plan. Before, we know that the updating or attaching a public IP or changing the configuration of our node pool was not too easy. Today, it is actually. It become more easy because we can do it at any time, how many time we want. So also, the traffic between the control plan and the data plan is today guaranteed to be private traffic. So those key features are welcomed on the GKE. I think they are actually letting us not having multiple issues, as I said just before. Once we talked about the GKE, so let's move on to the cost management tool. So it's directly related to the financial operation. In the move to cloud journey, entreprise needs to keep a clear view on cost in a billing perspective. Today, we know how to deal with actually billing, mainly the labeling of the resources. As we know, information about the labels is forwarded to the billing system, so we can break down so actually the charge to be billed directly by label for a project, for application, and also for maybe business unit directly related to our resource hierarchy. Today, Google Cloud introduced GCP labels for enterprise, which is a solution and tools to effectively use label for managing Google Cloud resources at scale in proactive and reactive governance approach in event-driven way. When a resource is created, we may have an alert saying that this resource is not directly labeled. In another approach, with this solution, we could have and we can have the capacity to have an auto-labeling strategy to have all the resources which are labeled. So this feature is very welcomed for the FinOps point of view. I give the hands to Nael for the next step and mainly on GCVE and other topics.
Thank you, Ziad. So keeping up with GCVE. So as you know, GCVE is Google Cloud VMware Engine. It is a service of Google Cloud to deploy private clouds on GCP based on the VMware virtualization solution. So Google introduced two new features on that part, where we first have, for example, soft deletion. Soft delete aims to protect against the accidental or malicious private cloud deletion in GCVE. So this new feature will help improving many things, such as minimizing the recovery time objective. But Google has also announced a new feature called Update Center, which allows to have a centralized update management for your private cloud to actually have a hand on the scheduling, the update scheduling strategies to say, I want, for example, to apply updates on my private cloud on a specific start dates and times. But additionally to that, we also have real-time status monitoring on these scheduled updates and non-scheduled updates as well, and many organizations will be able to gain in operations and predictability thanks to this new feature, where we have enhanced visibility and control over the way we do our updates of our private clouds. So let's now talk about databases, starting with the most promising news, I think, where we have a partnership between Google and Oracle, which aims to facilitate many things. The first one being the data migration from Oracle to GCP. We can now, for example, migrate databases that are in Oracle's cloud, which is OCI, thanks to interconnects that are now existing between GCP and OCI. We have many things as well. As you know, Forrester has announced Google to be one of the top leading AI service cloud provider. So companies can use their Oracle data with new GCP services such as Vertex AI, Gemini foundation models, and I believe also that there is a unified customer experience. For example, let's say that you have a problem with the Oracle software. If you open a ticket on Google side, this ticket will be also opened on Oracle side. So Google is really helping up with this customer experience to be able to gain time on that part. So let's now talk about Database Center. Database Center can really be seen as an AI-assisted dashboard that gives us a centralized view across our entire databases deployed in GCP. Google has taken a concept which is called Fleet, which was already existing in GK Enterprise. The principle is the same. Let's say that you have many databases, even if it's different products, for example, Cloud SQL, AlloyDB, deployed across multiple projects. Well, it's now possible to regroup all of these databases in a regroupable logic, which is the fleet, and which allows to troubleshoot, to measure risks and compliance of all of our fleet to regulatory and compliance standards. And and also to keep a track of the exposure to risks, the failover gaps, the backup failures. And as you know, since we are in an AI trend, why not ask directly Gemini to troubleshoot the problems that I have in Bigtable, in Memory Store, or in File Store, or all of the databases that are in my fleet. So this fleet management will help organization in their govern in the way they govern their databases at scale. So now talking about spanner graph. Spanner graph can really be seen as a feature within Google Cloud, which lets us treat our data as a graph. Think of a graph as a network of nodes. With this feature, we can use a new language which is graph queries, GQL, to easily find patterns and connections in our data. So in addition, this new feature combines on one side the power of graph databases to many use cases. For example, we can easily understand and analyze complex relationships that are in our data, and to enable and also to develop applications that rely on finding connections, such as recommendation systems, fraud detection, and building also knowledge graphs. So let's end, last but not least, how to improve our queries performance with a new service, which is called Query Insights, which is now available for Cloud SQL Enterprise Plus license. So this service has many key features that really aim to have a faster performance and better optimization in the way our queries are run on our Cloud SQL. For example, one key point is the detailed query analysis, which captures and examines data about each query that we run on our Cloud SQL database, and offering also insights about the performance indicators and the potential problems. Another key point, which is wait event monitoring. This feature shows where our database, our Cloud SQL database, might be experiencing delay, such as disk input and output, locking issues, and so on. We also have wait events. This was wait events. We also have index recommendations which suggest specific indexes to create to enhance query performances as well. So Google is really helping database administrators gaining value and focusing on things that matter. I think that this was pretty much it concerning the database part. Let's move on to the security. Raphael, I'll leave you the mic.
All right, thank you, Nel, thank you, Ziad. And now for the security part. First, we have the news regarding the Cloud Next Generation Firewall. So what is the Cloud? So first, to present the migration tool, we have to present the actual firewall. So the Cloud Next Generation Firewall is a distributed service, firewall services that centralize rule management. It simplifies the configuration of the firewall and the deployment. So it is easier to implement, and if it's easier, it's faster, and it's less trouble for the team. Also, this type of firewall provides an advanced layer 7 security capabilities that helps protect your workload from threats and different attacks. So this is a type of features that is well used in this type of firewall. And if you have a legacy firewall and you want to move to this new type of Cloud Next Generation Firewall, Google has developed a tool, which is the migration tool, to ease this upgrade. The goal is to encourage the customers to adopt this type of new firewalls. It is immigration. It allows for automation for some part of the migration. So this reduces the errors. It reduces the time and so the cost. And as this is the goal of this new migration tool, Google is really trying to make people move to this new type of firewall. That's it for this news. Next, we have the security posture that is expanded with the custom log policy. First of all, the custom log policy is a centralized control over your organization resources. So it allows your organization to define guardrails for your developers team. It allows them to stay compliant, and it helps the project owner work on the project without having worrying about security issues or compliancy issues. For example, you can limit the resource sharing based on a domain. You can restrict the creation of a resource in some physical location. So all these types of control over your resources allows for more compliancy, and it is managed on a centralized point of view. So you manage it with with an administrator that will create the rules for the entire organization. And this type of rules have been extended to the new resources we can see in the middle of the dashboard. So a lot of resources have been added. For example, we can see that Cloud KMS, the load balancer, or It Connect are not compliant with the custom org policy, and this allows for more security. It strengthens the governance and the risk management of your organization. And finally, last but not least, this is a very good tool to manage and enforce security and compliancy issues. Next news, we have the cloud key management system that can assign Microsoft Windows artifact. So as we know, as you all know, Cloud KMS allows you to generate keys to manage keys using the Google Cloud Hardware Security Modules, so the HSM. And now this tool supports Microsoft CNG. So it's a Microsoft Cryptographic API next generation. So this allows seamless integration. It allows you to work with a Windows-based application. Previously, if you wanted to sign some Windows artifact, you need to have a specialized hardware that was deployed outside of Google Cloud. But now with this new integration, the Cloud KMS CNG provider helps you to sign this Windows artifact inside Google Cloud. So this saves time in the signing process. It allows you for an easier software release. And if you have some the main uses for this type of tool, for the Cloud KMS CNG tool, is, as I said before, if you want to sign, for example, a Microsoft Windows artifact, if you want to gain visibility, logging capabilities about your keys, you can do that because it is integrated in KMS services, and you can benefit of the level 3 HSM encryption level protection for your keys of this type. And now for the last news, the Google Cloud Abuse Event Logging. So what is the Cloud Abuse Event? So it's an alert that's it's some service that alerts you of security incidents. For example, if you have a crypto mining attack, if you have a service account key that is leaked, it's a service that will alert you. Previously, it was only notifying the members by email only, and now it also notifies with cloud logging. So you have the email notification plus the cloud logging notifications. This sends structured logging details. So this allows for automations, for dashboarding. You can reduce the reactivity time with this type of new cloud logging, because as I said, you can automate some process. For example, if you see that you have a crypto mining alert in the cloud logging, you can create some rules to disable temporarily the affected VMs, for example. So these tools is really important for the automatization and to reduce the reactivity time of your organization regarding these types of security issues. And finally, you can use the cloud logging to analyze the historical to analyze the historical trends easily, and this allows for more dashboarding and to have more control regarding your resources and the security issues in your organization. That's it for this news. Thank you everyone for listening. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask them, and we'll be happy to answer it.